This is Jonathan Siddharth, CEO and co-founder of Turing. It's really awesome to meet you all, and it was great seeing all the responses to my email. And I see that we have about 500 developers in the Turing town hall today. So first, let me start by welcoming you all to Turing and welcoming you all to today's town hall. Let's communicate through the chat window. Like I'm looking at the chat messages from all of you, so we can use that as a way to do Q&A as we continue today's town hall. Awesome. Let's get started. So today my goal is to do three things. I'm going to start by giving you an overview of what Turing is all about, how we got started, why we exist, and how we can help you get to the next level in your career. So that's part one. Part two is going to be Q&A. We're going to have an open Q&A where I'll look for questions from the Zoom chat window and I'll answer them. Part three will be led by a product leader at Turing, Char, who's also on the panel. And Char will drive that conversation and share with you some of the new products we're building at Turing and take your feedback and inputs to make those products better. Let's start with the first section. So before I dive into slides, I wanted to talk a little bit about why Turing exists and how it got started. My co-founder, Vijay Krishnan, and I started Turing a couple of years ago. And we started Turing based on lessons that we learned from my first startup, Rover. So my first startup succeeded primarily because we were able to work with an amazing team of developers from all over the world, particularly some great developers from Eastern Europe, parts of Southeast Asia, and so on. And it was very clear to me that the best way to build a company is to look for the best people in the world, regardless of where they live, and not simply look for the best people who happen to live near your office. It's very clear to me that the future of work is remote. And that was the genesis of the idea for my co-founder and I to start Turing. My background is in machine learning and artificial intelligence. I went to grad school at Stanford. My first company was an AI company that, like I said, succeeded because of remote distributed teams. So I want to make sure that every company in the world operates the same way by leveraging the best talent from all over the world, regardless of where they are based. And for awesome developers like you, we want to create a platform where your career opportunities and job opportunities are not limited to what companies that you can drive to at work that maybe exist 20 miles or maybe 20 kilometers from where you live. But instead, you have access to the best job opportunities from all over the world. Because trust me, like there are amazing jobs in the US and in other parts of the world. There will be a great match for your profile. So we want to make sure that we can connect you to those opportunities. I'm going to show you a few things. I'm going to show you a very quick presentation. This will just take 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do Q&A. So, as I mentioned, we are seeing a massive shift in the way we work. Right? Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said that we've seen 2 years worth of digital transformation in 2 months in this massive shift to remote work. Today in the US, you see all these amazing tech companies in the USA like Facebook, Twitter, Shopify, Quora. Many of these billion-dollar companies, they are all adopting remote work. They all want to hire the best people from all over the world. Right? And Turing today has amazing customers on board. And for us, our biggest goal is to make sure we can connect you to the best job opportunities all over the US. So I'm going to share something with you that I think will be interesting. So Turing has raised almost $50 million to accelerate the world's transition to remote work. We will create thousands of jobs for talented developers like you worldwide. I believe that the future of work is boundaryless. And we will make sure that you have access to career opportunities that help you level up. Our team has done this before at very successful tech companies. Like Turing's team comes from Facebook, Google, Uber, Capgemini, Stanford, and so on. The company is backed by engineering leaders from, again, Google, Facebook, Apple, Twitter, etc. One of Turing's investors is actually the founder of Upwork. I know many of you might have heard of Upwork. And we are backed by the same investors who invested in companies like Facebook, Tesla, SpaceX, etc. For me and my co-founder, Vijay, this is our second company together. The first company succeeded because of remote teams, which is why we started Turing. My CRO, Prakash, comes from Capgemini. My VP of engineering was an engineering manager at Facebook. My VP of customer success comes from Capgemini again. One of my product leaders, Char, comes from Citibank and has extensive experience in recruiting. We are backed by people who are on the Pinterest board, Facebook's first CTO, and so on. And we've seen this. Today, Turing's mission is to connect the world's best engineers with the world's greatest companies. Most of the companies that we connect engineers with are in the USA. Turing is creating this new category that we call talent cloud. So we want to create this distributed team of developers that's sourced by software, vetted by software, matched by software, and managed by software. And today we have, actually this number is a little bit outdated. Today it's more than 200,000 developers from all over the world. Right? Turing has developers from almost every country in the world. I will share this deck with you so that you can go through some of the Turing success stories in more detail. We have developers from Microsoft who've been successful on Turing. This is Melissa from Kenya. This is Zek from Ethiopia. And this is Eder from Brazil. So we have success stories of developers just like you from all over the world that we've been able to connect with Silicon Valley job opportunities. And for us, we aim to offer developers. Firstly, we want to make sure you're making more money than the current opportunities you might have access to. We want to make sure that this is financially very attractive for you. We want to make sure you're working on interesting projects, you connect with interesting people, and we also want to create a community of amazing developers like you that you can network with and connect with. I'm going to show you a quick 2-minute video that one of our developers created.
Hi, my name is Robson, but you can call me Rob. I live in São Paulo, Brazil, and this is how its traffic jam looks like. Terrible, isn't it? People need to get to their offices, and they can't help but face this every single morning. Luckily for me, this is how my mornings look like. Yeah, the dog walks thing. 1 year ago, I was struggling to go to work, but now I can enjoy some time outside before starting my duties. Oops, bedtime. Can you think of a better way to kick off your day? Neither do I. Hey honey, say hi to the audience. Since I joined Turing last year, I started to work remotely from home, and that dramatically improved my life quality. It's unbelievable how much stuff I can do while people out there waste their time commuting, trying to get to their offices. With the time I save working from home, I can go to the gym and keep fit. Okay, this is my wife's work, sorry. I've never felt so productive before. I mean, avoiding the stressful traffic jams, eating better, exercising, all that stuff keeps my brain in good shape. Besides that, it's hard to concentrate on those crowded offices, while at home, there's nobody to distract me. Almost nobody. It all started when I saw a Turing ad on Instagram. I created an account, took some programming tests, and made some interviews. Only 2 weeks later, I had a fantastic new job. Turing helped me reach a new level in my career. This is what they've promised me: steady incomes, timely payments, work on interesting projects, work with nice people, recognition among peers. They fulfilled all of them. I always wanted to work for an American company. I mean, they've created this business, right? Where else could I work with the best and learn from the best? Getting an American working visa, it's not easy though. And this is probably the best news about Turing. I don't need a visa because I can work from anywhere in the globe. As they say, the future of work is remote. 1 year ago, I made a life-changing decision, and I hope to meet you here. Join Turing, enjoy life. Hi, my name is Robson.
All right. Moving on. So you heard from Rob from Brazil and how he's managed to find a successful career path with Turing. Now, I want to pause here. I want this town hall to be about you and me speaking with each other, and I want to really share how Turing can help you get to that next phase in your career. We built Turing to be a career accelerator for you. What you need to do is upload your resume, go through Turing's automated vetting process, which is, don't be intimidated by it. It'll take about 4 to 5 hours on average. Go through Turing's automated vetting process, and we will match you with amazing job opportunities in the US, the United States of America, where that would be very, very exciting for you. Right? That's what we want. We want you to have a great career and keep growing your career over the next couple of years. So even if you don't end up passing Turing's vetting process at this step, we will give you feedback on what you should do differently, areas to work on, so that when you come back in 6 months, we can match you up with amazing jobs again, right? So either way, like think of it like a decision tree with 2 paths. Either you get an amazing job opportunity right now, or we will still help you work on yourself so that you can come back again in 6 months or 12 months when you're ready, and we can start this process. I really would be very, very happy if all 504 of you are working at the best companies in the world, not just the best companies in your city. That would make us so happy, right? So help us take you to that next level. It's why we exist, right? And the thing I want to say, which like when I sent the email, I saw a lot of email replies from you, is a lot of you seem unsure about whether your skills are where they need to be working with the kind of tech companies that Turing would match you. My answer to that is go for it. Take a shot, go for it. You'll never know where you stand until you go through Turing's vetting process. And we've designed Turing's vetting process to be something that helps you get better as you go through the process. In fact, we invested a lot of R&D on the topic of just resumes. So Turing's vetting process will make your resumes better. So even if you don't end up going through Turing's process fully, as you go through the process, even if you don't get matched with a customer, our team will make your resumes better, like our product will make your resumes better. so that whatever future jobs you go through, like you will be able to talk about your work in the best possible way. Right? I'm an engineer like you. I studied computer science at Stanford, where I focused on artificial intelligence. And I know even at Stanford, like a lot of software engineers are not very good at writing resumes, right? And that's why we spent a lot of time making sure that great people are able to tell the story of their work in the best possible way to get noticed by hiring managers at the world's best companies. So that's one point. Like, don't doubt yourself. Like, believe in yourself. We will help you. Either you will be successfully matched with a U.S. company, like for your job, or at the very least, we would, if for some reason we see that, hey, you might want to work on your algorithms and data structure skills, or you might want to work on your React expertise in a little more detail. We'll give you that feedback so you can work on it and come back, and we can still do this, right? At Turing, one of our core values is continuous improvement. Like I think about continuous improvement a lot. Like for me personally, every day I want to get a little bit better. Like I want to be a slightly better version of myself today than I was yesterday. I want to be a slightly better version tomorrow, and so on. And at Turing, similarly, think of the Turing process as something that will help you take that step forward in your professional career. Like we'll just help make your technical foundation a little bit better by giving you the right guidance on what to focus on, so that even if you're not matched right now, you can come back. And I know one question people had was, is Turing only for software engineers, or is Turing for yeah, I'm a product manager, or I'm a designer, can I be on Turing? The answer to that is today, and for the next, I would say, definitely for the next year, we are going to be primarily focused on software engineering and developers. But we have a variety of jobs, front end. So we focus on front end developers, back end developers, full stack, machine learning, data science, data analysts, and a variety of just almost every software engineering job you can think of. Like Turing would have it. And we are constantly adding more and more job types, technology stacks, and seniority levels. So we'll keep adding more and more. Today, we don't have opportunities for product managers or project managers or designers, but we may in the future. I'll keep you posted. Right? So I know that was one question that came up with a lot of people. One other question that came up was, how long does it take? How long is the process going to take? Like I'm gonna go through Turing's vetting process. How much longer is it going to be? So typically, our vetting process involves 4 to 5 hours of an automated vetting process. Like for example, if you're a full stack developer, we might test you on front end technologies, back end technologies, maybe database technologies, and a few other areas. So it's 4 to 5 hours of automated vetting, a 30-minute live coding interview. And after that, we have an onboarding call with our platform HR team. Right? So in total, you would not spend more than, say, 6 hours or something like that. If you were going on site to do a job interview with a company, you would easily spend, at least in the US, you would easily spend an entire day. Like, and particularly if you count commuting back and forth, it's a lot of time. And that is, you have to do that work for every company you interview with, right? At Turing, you do this work once, spend the 6 hours and do this work once. After that, you're done. You don't have to do anything, right? You're in our system. We know what you're good at, what your strengths are, and our team will be working tirelessly to match you with the best companies in the USA. And when we match you with a company in the US, by US, I mean United States. When we match you with a company in the United States, typically the engineering manager at the company will do maybe like one interview. And sometimes they even skip that interview, but usually there's like one interview. And it's totally okay, even if that interview doesn't go well, or for some reason, because interviews are not perfect measures of quality. we will still work with you to match you with, as long as you passed our vetting, we will be working hard to match you with more and more companies, right? So just do this work once, and then you're going to reap the rewards for years. So spend the time to that 6 hours to go through our vetting flow. And after that, you can just sit back. Our team will keep reaching out to you with job opportunities that you might be qualified for. And we are onboarding some amazing companies, some really amazing companies. I mean, if you're curious, I would encourage you to follow Turing's social media at Turing.com. So if you so you can see stories of developers being matched with amazing companies. So for example, we have some cool Turing hoodies that you may like. So follow Turing's social media, Turing.com. Definitely something worth doing. And you'll see stories like this, like our team constantly showcases a couple of stories from time to time. Lots and lots of amazing, this is Tosin from Nigeria who got matched to a job. So lots and lots of stories like that. So definitely do that. So that's the answer to how long does it take. So 6 hours in total, do it once, and after that, I would really like it if you didn't have to go through interviews. Like interviews are not fun, like tests are not fun, but do this once, and then all your future career paths will be super easy. Like honestly, like even that 1 hour interview that when customers who speak with developers, Turing developers do, it mostly about speaking about your prior work experience, your background, etc., because they trust Turing's vetting. If you passed Turing's vetting, like it means that you've already passed a very high bar for software engineering. So that's one thing. I know another question you're probably thinking is, how do I get paid? How do I get paid? How much will I get paid? What does it like? How does that work? Right? So you'll get paid monthly, and we pay very, very promptly, and we have a variety of payment options to make sure that in your country you get paid quickly. And at the end of the day, like we want to make sure that, like I think of it as 3 things that we offer to developers. The first is, which is important for all of us, is we have to make sure you're making more money than your current career opportunities that you might have access to. So we want to make sure financially you are, this is a step up for you. Right? So firstly, we have, so financial step up, that's number 1. Number 2 is professional growth. Like, so I grew up in a small town in India, Chennai, which is not one of the larger cities. Like Mumbai is bigger, Delhi is bigger. So Chennai is on the seaside. I grew up in Chennai, and in Chennai, when I was growing up, there were only maybe 3 technology companies that were product companies in Chennai. Every other company was like a services company or something like that. And you could be an amazing software engineer, but still you are stuck between those 3 companies. And I want to make sure that you have access to the world's best companies. So the second aspect of what Turing gives you is professional growth, like exciting companies, exciting people, exciting projects. Work with engineering leaders from Facebook, Google, Amazon, etc. People who've had that type of experience. They will help you level up and grow really, really quickly. So that's the second part, professional growth as a step up based on these opportunities. And third, we want you to grow your career over the long haul, right? For our team, what matters the most is, are you successful over the next 3 years, 4 years? We are not a gig platform. There are plenty of other gig platforms, freelancing platforms. We are not a gig platform. We are not a freelancing platform. We are about, like, if you join the Turing family, if you join the Turing network, we want to make sure we take care of you to make sure you're continuously working with amazing companies. When one engagement ends, our team will be working behind the scenes to make sure you're matched quickly with another company. You don't have to like hunt for gigs, right? Like we'll do the hunting for you, so that you can focus on becoming a great software developer. Tell us where you want to go. Like when you sign up, like the first thing you should tell us is, and some of our engineers tell us this, they tell us that Turing, in 3 years, I would like to be an engineering manager or a director of engineering in an AI company. Take me there. And then we make sure that we are matching you up with the right job opportunities between now and that 3-year time frame. So you're accumulating all the skills that you need to get there. Right? So keep that in mind. And if there is one thing to take away from today's town hall, I would say it's this. Upload your resume to Turing. Go through Turing's process to make your resume better. We will help you showcase your prior work experience in the best possible way. Right? So number one, upload your resume. Number two, take one programming test, just one on Turing, right? And start from there. So upload your resume and take one programming test. Take it in the language. Take one test in a technology that you are most comfortable with, right? And the only way to fail is by not trying. That's the only way to fail. Because when you try, either you will succeed now or you will succeed later, because we will help you succeed. That's our job. Like nothing would make us more happy than you working for a US company. Right? It would make me and my team so happy to see you working at Google, Facebook, Amazon, those types of companies, and amazing startups in California, in the United States of America. We will help you get there, right? Help us help you by, number one, uploading your resume as soon as you come off this town hall. Number two, take one test. And don't be scared of the tests. These are all short tests. It's just for us to get an idea of where your skill level is at. Even if you don't get the score that you wanted to get in the score, in the test, it's totally okay. We will help you figure out what to focus on to try again. Start your process of self-improvement and professional growth today. Start it today. The only way to fail is by not trying. I'm sure there must be some Star Wars fans in the webinar. So if you've seen Star Wars, I think you may have seen The Empire Strikes Back, which is my favorite Star Wars movie. And there's a Yoda quote, which I think about often. Yoda tells Luke, Luke is like, hey, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can become a Jedi. And Yoda tells him, do or do not. There is no try. Right? When Luke says, hey, I'll try. So go for it. Upload your resume. Take one programming test, and we will help you get matched with amazing companies. Right? And even if you don't get matched right now, we'll help you figure out what to focus on so you can get an awesome job working remotely for US companies in the next 6 months. And I'll be doing these types of town halls weekly. So I'll speak with you again next week. I'm going to pause here and spend the next 10 minutes answering any other questions that you have for me. I love that we have 503 people here. What I would like even more is for all of you to be working with the best technology companies in the United States. So I'm looking at, wow, there's like so many comments. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to pause. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think about a question and then type the question. And I'm going to answer a few questions for 10 minutes. Char, are you, you can hear me, right? I might pass some of the questions to you as well.
Yeah, certainly.
Perfect. And everyone, meet Char. Char is a senior product leader at Turing who cares deeply about developer success. Char wakes up every day thinking about how to create jobs for awesome developers just like you. Right? So Char and his team do a phenomenal job. They work night and day, like 24/7. Like at 3 a.m., if I message Char will respond with where we are with matching developers with jobs. Okay, so I'm going to take some questions now. Okay, question from Rishu Garg. Hi, Rishu. Does Turing let us choose the programming language for the vetting process? For example, C++ and not C? Great question. Yes, you can choose from over 9 different programming languages. Pick a programming language that you are comfortable with. Is there any requirement for infrastructure profile or only for coders? It depends on what you mean by infrastructure profile. If you mean system administrator, this is a question from Sandeep Basak. So it depends on what you mean by infrastructure. We definitely have a lot of backend jobs, like system administration type jobs. We have a lot of distributed systems like jobs. We have site reliability engineering. So we definitely have a lot of jobs that deal with the infrastructure needed for tech companies. So you should definitely try Sandeep. Ming Sing Pei. I took several tests or interviews in Turing so far, but never got any job yet. So this is something that, thank you, Ming, for that question. This is something that we are working super hard on. So the way Turing works is we have a continuous flow of jobs coming in. Like these are customers saying, I want remote engineers. Turing, can you give me some remote engineers? And we are simultaneously evaluating developers to make sure that we can match them with those jobs. Sometimes, if there isn't an overlap between what jobs we have and what the developer's skills are, it might take longer than we would like. For example, if you are a closure developer and we don't have closure jobs, then it might take a little bit longer for us to match you. But rest assured, our job is to match you. Like we are highly motivated to match you with the job. Like that's how Turing stays in business. So even if you don't hear right away, it means that we are still waiting for the right job opportunity for you. And as soon as we have it, we will reach back out to you. And I'll say one thing. In the last year, as the company was rapidly growing and scaling, we didn't have the resources to respond to people as promptly as we should have, right? And now we have grown our team and built out our team to be even larger to make sure that you hear promptly and quickly from Turing. So if you don't hear promptly, quickly from Turing, you have my email, jonathan.s@turing.com. Email me and I'll help connect you and figure out what's happening with your profile. I would say that there is definitely room for Turing to improve in terms of how quickly and promptly we communicate with you and keep you updated. I will make sure that we become great at this in the next 3 to 6 months. That's my commitment to you, that whether you're selected or whether you're not selected, you will always hear promptly from us. And my goal is to make sure either we match you with a great company, or at least we tell you, hey, work on this and come back, and then we can match you. Right? I want the process of going through Turing to be value positive for you. Do you plan to expand and include non-developer jobs too, such as business analytics? Yes. So business analytics and data science, data analytics, we will. But we have some requirements around what tech stacks we should have. Bruno Alvarez asks, are there machine learning and AI jobs available through the platform? Absolutely. Absolutely. There are a lot of machine learning AI jobs. With a name like Turing, you kind of have to do that, right? So Omar is asking an interesting question. How can Turing help developers who are willing to switch to an emerging technology that they do not have prior experience of? So this is interesting. If you don't have prior experience in a technology, typically companies will not want to hire you as a software engineer in that role. Typically, most often. And in those cases, it will be more difficult for us to match you. If it is something where the company is, if we find a job opportunity where the company doesn't require prior experience in that, that's very, very rare, then we could make an exception. But it's a tough question, like because particularly, at least today, Turing focuses on jobs that require usually at least a couple of years of experience. So it's definitely something that we are thinking about. I don't think I have an answer for you yet, but it's something that we're thinking about. I think then, like, one thing that we've thought about is, should we have a more junior track for developers who are still early on in their careers? But the question is, are there enough companies that want junior developers who don't have as much experience in that particular technology? So we'll work on that, and I'll get back to you. Like, right now, I don't have an answer. Santosh asks, what I don't like about Turing is it doesn't score on tests. It only says you took the tests. It would be better if there is scoring, which will lead to self-evaluation. Great question. So the reality is Turing does score on tests. Like, we have access to those scores, and we use that when we match you with a customer, and we are working on exposing those scores to you. So very soon, you will also be able to see how you did in different parts, in different concepts. Based on that, you can figure out what you want to work on. For example, I'm a machine learning scientist. In machine learning, there are a bunch of components. Like, you have to understand machine learning theory, you have to understand probability, you have to understand statistics. You also have to understand how to build ML systems, and some experience with machine learning frameworks like TensorFlow, PyTorch, etc. So you might think, like, after your vetting, you could be scored along each of these dimensions, and we want to expose those scores to you so that you know what to work on. And again, I'm about to pass the ball to Char, but before that, I'll repeat the two things to do after you leave this town hall. Upload your resume and take one test in a programming language that you are comfortable with. There is no way to lose, right? Like, either you'll get matched with a successful, either you'll get matched successfully to an awesome US company, or you will get matched later, and we can figure out how to help you get there. We can figure out, like, hey, focus on this, focus on that. Here are some specific areas to work on. Maybe you need to brush up on your algorithmic problem-solving skills, or maybe you need to brush up on Node, and maybe your database skills are a little bit rusty, and we'll help you. Right? So do that. So I'll leave you with that one thing. Now we're going to the final part of today's town hall, which is, our team at Turing wants to hear from you on how we can make Turing better for you to help you reach your goals. We also want to figure out, is there anything stopping you from going back home and doing your first Turing test today? Right? Are there any obstacles you're facing? Anything on your mind? So I'm going to hand off to Char with that one teaser question. So if you could type your answers in the chat to this one question, that would be great. My one question for you, as you type your answers in the chat, is, what is preventing you or holding you back from starting on Turing today, uploading your resume and taking that first test? What is preventing you? And we want to hear that, and we want to help you get past that. Char, on to you. You can take it from here. It's great meeting you all, and you know my email, jonathan.s@turing.com. And I'll be doing this town hall again next week. And for all 500 of you, I wish you the best in your career. Even if it is with Turing or without Turing, I think you're highly motivated, you're talented. Your talent deserves to be rewarded. And either it'll be Turing helping you, but I mean, I think you will be successful even without Turing, right? Like, even if Turing didn't exist, I really believe you'll be successful. But we want to help you reach your success and your fullest potential faster. That's why we exist. On to you, John.
Thank you, Jonathan. Hi, everyone. So I'm gonna switch this to mine. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for joining the town hall today. I'm really excited to see everyone here. Could you do me a quick favor? So I'm going to share a survey link with everyone. And so I'm sharing it here. So this survey, this survey link, so Google form. If you click on this, you can tell us, hey, where are you in the your Turing journey? In terms of the, hey, have you uploaded resume? Are you currently taking the test? So this will help. This will help gauge where everyone is today, and we'll be able to, you know, show some cool stuff, and also want to get your feedback on how we can really address those steps. So if you could take just like 10 seconds, just one question, that would be super helpful. I see that 20 people, wow, 30 people have responded already. Yeah, so I'm gonna share the link again. Please go there and take a look. Now, 50, I'm seeing this right now. We have 55 people responded already. So actually share this. Wow, 111 people. So it looks like a lot of us have uploaded a resume. Oh, wow, a lot of you actually have registered. Actually, most of you have signed up but haven't uploaded a resume yet. I'll definitely ask for feedback on how we can improve this for you. I see. And it looks like the second one is, yeah, you're at the uploaded resume, followed by you've taken the work experience survey, and 12% of you are saying haven't completed yet. I see. Wow, thank you so much for taking this survey. This will help address the this will help us focus on what the next segment will be. I've completed this. Got it. So since 300 of us have responded thus far, and the biggest one being I've signed up but haven't uploaded a resume yet, let's talk about that segment a little bit, and I would love to get your feedback. So let's see. So I will share my screen with you, and I would love to hear yeah. I would love to hear about quickly what about this step is blocking kind of preventing you from uploading a resume. So let's see. So this is what we have today. Hey guys, welcome. Let's create your profile. And in the chat, would you be able to provide feedback on what about this can be worked on so that, you know, what's the kind of stopping you from uploading resume or moving forward? We'll love to hear from you. If you could write in the chat. I see some of you saying that. See some of you saying, don't have a resume yet. Hey, is there let's see. My resume. Yeah. And I will send the link to the survey again. Uh-huh. Yeah, so it looks like the most common feedback I'm hearing from you is that, okay. So the most common feedback I'm hearing from you is that, hey, my resume is not ready. I set my resume somewhere, and so yeah, my CV is not properly updated. So don't worry about it for now. So your actually resume doesn't have to be perfect. Something that we always make sure is that we know that everyone's resume is different, and we sometimes you don't know what the resume format would be good and then perceived well by the companies. So um, what we actually recommend to do is just write down your experience quickly. Just you can just be 1-2 lines. Just add it to your most recent resume. It doesn't have to be perfect. Uh, After you upload the resume, we actually use our ML to parse information from your resumes. And that resume is not being sent to companies directly, but uh, the, but we actually offer something called a resume builder that helps you. So that helps you kind of rewrite your resumes and actually upgrade it based on what companies are looking for. And there you'll be able to talk about. So we actually walk you through. Hey, here's here's what really works well with the top U.S. companies, like top Silicon Valley companies, and we actually walk you through. Hey, if you can describe your, so I'll give one example. If you can describe how you use React Node in your current position, or if how you use the Angular Node, how you use a Python in your current work. And we actually provide examples of what to do and what things are considered really well received and how that leads to opportunities at the even like the better companies that we have in our system. So uh, if you have any fear, don't be, just upload a resume and we will walk you through in terms of how you can improve it. And we actually have dedicated team of about 10 people who will be helping you with their resume. Actually, what they do is that they take a look at the resume you have uploaded and also look at the what other experiences you have. So they look at your LinkedIn, they look at so other things as well to really improve the resume for you. So don't fear, upload it, and we will guide you through the next steps. Yep. So another question I was asked is, do you have any template to follow for the resume? So that is a great question. That is precisely what the resume builder does. We actually provide a template with examples so that you can go through this. So let me see. And I will actually share what it looks like after this meeting so that you can take a look at this. This is a really great feedback. Where did, hmm. And another great question is, do you have to see? Are there correct? Uh-huh. Yeah. How do you know like which test to take? So that's actually a great question. After you upload the resume, what you see is that in the next screen, um, so I mentioned the how you use ML to auto extract what you're good at. So we create a personalized track for you based on hey, I'm really great at these skills. So I'm going back to the React Node example or like Python example. Hey, I'm using Python plus Django or React in my workplace. Um, so based on that, you can take tests. And once you, after you complete those tests, we match you to companies accordingly. Okay, sounds good. And the second thing that people have brought up is, so let me share my screen with you, is hey, I signed up. Actually, hey, I've uploaded my resume. And so I'm assuming that you're on the screen. Actually, so you're probably looking at a screen that says I complete the work experience survey. So let's see. I don't have that with me right now. But what about the so you've uploaded a resume and maybe you're confirming your skills or you have to take the survey about your work experience. What about that is stopping you? And by the way, we're kind of writing down everyone who's asking questions so that even if your question is not answered, we will reach out to you after the call to make sure that those are addressed. Great question. So can we take the test only once? This is actually a great question. You can actually, so taking the test, so even if you don't make it, that's actually not the end of the world. So two things. One is so Turing has a lot of workshops, and even if you don't even if you don't do perfectly well, we still have opportunities for you. And let's say you have what is it? You haven't really prepared for the test, and let's say you did. Let's say you scored. Let's say go with the extreme example. You scored a 0. Even if that happens, we will invite you to take the test again in about 6 months from today, and in some cases, 3 months from today. So don't fear. Just take the test. It's not like a binary thing. So based on your scores, based on how you do, we have different jobs for you. So just go ahead and take the test. And even if you score 0%, you'll be invited back in about 3 to 6 months from today. And let's see. Let's see. So I'm looking at the questions. Make it to the next level. Great. So okay, so I'm reading. Keep here. Say I make it to the next level where you place me. Is there a possibility you can place one with more than one company? Okay, great question. So Turing is primarily for full-time work. And so we want people to succeed. And a lot of the opportunities we have are full-time work. However, we do have some part-time opportunities. So that is definitely doable. But one thing I do want to address is that one thing about Turing is that, you know, so what we're trying to do is we once you so after you apply, so you never have to apply for another job ever again. So that means we want you to stay with Turing, and what we are promising and what we are building right now. And actually, that developer you see is actually a great example. After you become a Turing engineer, then we will keep matching you to different opportunities. And let's say you're working with the company, and let's say you want to work on something else, or um, let's say somehow things just don't go well, then we will immediately match you to a different opportunity. So when you're part of a Turing, you're actually being considered for not just one company, you're considered for multiple companies, and we actually send you emails and also messages on WhatsApp asking, hey, would you be interested in this opportunity, that opportunity, that opportunity? And you can respond what you're really, really interested in, because we want you to work on things that you're interested in, and we will keep matching you to different opportunities. so that you can have amazing, enjoyable work at Turing. Okay, so how about the work hours? How long am I? Okay, so work hours wise, full time is 40 hours a week, standard, and the engagements are usually pretty long. Yes. So I'm reading the comments. So I saw yes. If you want to be matched with different companies, you do have to take tests. Because so that's our way of figuring out what you're good at. And actually going back to the resume example. So we the way we match you to different companies is that so we don't put like 100% emphasis on the resume. We believe that resume is only part of the story. So after you take the test, and so we look at okay, you're good at this area, that area. So we look at all of these dimensions, and then combine it with your past work history to match you to amazing opportunities in the U.S. And so I mentioned the resume builder. So the resume builder is there so that um, even if like your resume is bad, we still so the resume builder will really take it to the next level. So short answer is that we don't rely solely on your uploaded resume. Um, so upload your resume and take the Turing tests. I think combined, it only takes about like no more total, like 2 hours. And 2 hours of investment will actually pay you off for the next 20 years. And because you never have to apply for another job ever again. So please go ahead and take those tests. And even if you fail, like let's say 0%, you're still invited for the next opportunities to retake. And also, it's not like a binary thing. We look at different dimensions within the test that you take. So so yeah, don't worry. Just go ahead and take those, and yep, and you'll be matched for a lot of opportunities. So want to be asked about the payment method. Payment method. So that's actually one of the greatest thing I think is about Turing. Payment method wise, so two things. One is that you'll always get paid on time. And number two, we make sure whichever payment is right for you. So for example, we look at, so Turing uses not just one payment method, but a variety of payment methods. The reason why is we want to make sure that you get paid on time and you have a steady source of income. And we don't want you to be blocked by any financial or banking cross-border issues. So we actually speak with you before you even start working and see, hey, what method works for you? And let's go through this together. So, yep. So yeah, so the answer is very flexible. Let's see. So how do I know Turing team is assessing my CV or not? Oh, cool. So after you upload the resume, actually that's where your Turing journey begins. And something that we're implementing is a progress bar about, hey, here's where you are in the process. And um, so after you upload the resume, we actually so it is actually starts getting assessed. So the short answer is that after you upload resume, we start assessing right away. And as I said, there's a resume builder to help you out. So don't worry about any poor quality. what is a recommended programming language in the US? So, USA. In the USA, the recommended programming languages. So short answer is, uh, take whichever the ones that you're most proficient in. Because, and when I say this, I'm not exaggerating at all. So Turing has like literally like at this present moment, we have literally hundreds of jobs that are there for you. So uh, the in terms of recommended languages, I suggest taking the ones that you're most good at. In terms of the sort of broader what the bucket looks like. So uh, mostly let's kind of narrow down. Languages wise, uh, so Turing is primarily for software people working in the software in this software industry, and languages wise, the most popular ones. So after you upload a resume, so last Thursday we released a new feature. Actually, I think I am able to show this to you. Yeah, and I would love to get your feedback on this as well. Yeah. So one thing that we released last week is, so these are the number of jobs that we currently have in our system. So this is updated on a weekly basis, and so these are only the top 70% of the tech stacks that we are hiring for. And as you can see, so for example, React and one of the backend frameworks or languages. Uh, we also have uh, we also have a lot of Python jobs as well. And something that's gonna show up. So today's Friday, right? That's something that can show up end of today. Is that we have a ton of Python jobs as well. So you will see how many jobs we have available for Python. I think we have about 70 currently. So that those will show up as well. And so go here, take a look at this, and we in about 3 weeks from today, we also have we're gonna have a new job section. So the current one is a little bit broken, but we have a new thing that's coming out that will show you all of the jobs that we have in the system. So yeah, go ahead and please take a look at this. I hope that this answers the question. But again, this is 70% of the tech stacks we're hiring for. So for the other ones, we have a ton of other jobs as well. So go ahead and take the ones that you're most good at. Let's see. If the screen was not showing, so I will send you a video recording of this after this so that you can take a look at this. And I will also send you a video. I'll send you a direct link for that as well. So, yeah. Okay, so I, well, level of difficulty. Yeah, so tests yeah, so the yeah, tests come at the same difficulty, but it's not like they come at the same difficulty for everyone. And what we do is that, and then we look at what dimensions. So actually, there are like a lot of different dimensions. For example, right? There's like a polymorphism. I mean, even in a language, so multi-threading, polymorphism, and then it's just like object-oriented language. Also, questions regarding that class structure. So we assess on the various different dimensions, and then but each of the dimensions has easy, medium, hard questions, and we look at those to thoroughly assess what you're good at and match you to different opportunities. What is a ranking algorithm? What are the ranking algorithms that we must know? That's on the so if you go to the in terms of algorithms, the so you actually, when you're eligible for technical interview, you actually get an email with what that is about. I'll also follow up with the kind of a copy of the email as well. Cool. All right, so it's about 9:10 my time, and so we'll be concluding this town hall, and so after this one, we will follow up over an email with the survey of, hey, were there any questions that you wanted to ask? So by the way, we're answering all these questions, but we want to make sure that all your questions are answered. So we will send you an email with the question. So with the so please yeah, feel free to ask any questions in the survey. Also in the survey, we will attach a video recording of this as well, so that if you want to play back, you can go ahead and take a look at this. Some of you mentioned these what is it? The streaming was a little bit blurry, and so this will also allow you to kind of take a look at that again, and any kind of additional links we will attach to that survey as well. So yeah, I'll answer one more question. Yeah. So okay, the last question. So 9/11. If you want to learn more before starting work with Turing, is there any suggestion, please? So do you mean the like knowledge of the stack, or the more about Turing? So if the question is about the latter, hey, how do we learn more about Turing? Go to welcome.turing.com and take a look at a lot of information is there. So please take a look. And Radu, thanks for the feedback. Cool. All right, thank you everyone for coming to today's town hall. We will follow up with an email, and I appreciate you coming. We will host another session next Friday at the same time. So if you want to see other stuff, please come in. If you have any questions, follow up over the email, and we will be happy to answer any questions and make sure that your Turing journey is a successful and a happy one. Thank you.